We've had a couple of big stories take place this week, and we're going to bring on Joe Henry now from Lake of the Woods Tourism to discuss a couple of these stories. Let's start with the sad news. Joe, a legend in the fishing industry passed away earlier this week, Ron Lindner.
I'll tell you, with Ron Lindner passing away, I'll tell you, growing up as a kid, I was a fishing nut. I mean, fishing meant the world to me. And when Al and Ron Lindner brothers started, in Fisherman and the Professional Walleye Trail and Walleye Insider magazine and the Lindy Rig, and I mean, they were just so instrumental in so many aspects of fishing. I'm the guy that had the yellow In Fisherman decal on my tackle box, and I had the In Fisherman hat that was so full of sweat and everything, fish cleaning guts, and I mean, I wore that hat every day. And I had the privilege of meeting Ron Lindner at an NPA, National Professional Angling Association event, and I had a chance to hear him speak a couple of times. And I personally didn't have the privilege of knowing him very, very well, but I certainly knew him from afar, probably like many people. And Bret, I don't know about you, but it certainly affects my heart. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the fishing industry, and not just great anglers, but the industry and what some of these people did for the fishing industry, especially back, I don't want to say back at the beginning of fishing, obviously, but back at the beginning of more of the industry side of fishing. I mean, they're right there at the forefront of it, the Lindners and Ron. I think Al, both of them deserve loads and loads of credit, and I think Al a lot of times gets more of the spotlight. But I think Ron was really a big driving force behind it all.
Absolutely, and, one of those people, I think, behind the scenes from a business perspective, absolutely instrumental. You think about it. Where would the fishing industry be? Where would the walleye fishing be? The tournament circuit? Where would it all be if those guys wouldn't have taken the action that they did? And the kind of individual he was, really a man of faith, really gave back in many, many ways to charities and to different kids fishing camps, and just so many regards. Just really a quality individual. And again, it's just it's really, really hard to watch somebody like this not be around anymore. Just the world just doesn't seem right this week.
Sad news, definitely, for sure. On a brighter note, some other news came out this week from Lake of the Woods. It's got a lot of people talking, Joe.
Yeah, I tell you, that is bright news. And so our Northwest Angle, when this pandemic began back in March, the border shut down, the U.S.-Canada border shut down. And with the Northwest Angle, we have about a dozen resorts up there. The Northwest Angle is that little tip of Minnesota that sticks up into Canada. And in order to travel there, you have to travel, through Canada and then enter back into the United States. So ever since March, with the border being shut down, people couldn't get to the angle. They couldn't drive there. Yeah, they could go by boat, but that's 40 miles across big open waters. Most people, the vast majority, can't do that or won't do it. So they've had a tough spring, summer, and fall. I mean, their backs are against the wall. They got little to no revenue coming in. So we, the Northwest Angle resorts and the community have been working together, meeting, Zoom meetings and such. And we ended up coming up with a game plan. I mean, their backs are against the wall, and they're coming out swinging, man. And you know what? They have come up with the Northwest Angle Guest Ice Road. So this ice road, Bret, is going to allow people to drive from the south shore of Lake of the Woods, stay in Minnesota, and drive a extensive marked, groomed ice road all the way up to the Northwest Angle. So you can still take advantage of those cool resorts up there, the incredible fishing, the structure, the walleyes, the diversity of the fishery up there. Bret, you and I have fished the Northwest Angle. You know what it's like.
Absolutely, it's a such a unique part of Lake of the Woods. I mean, obviously the whole lake is a great place to fish, but when you fish the south end versus up the angle, it's almost like being on a different lake. Really, it's different structure. It's you know, you've got more islands up there. The resorts are really neat, and it's got so much history, and it's such a unique place. It's a great place to visit, and I want to get up there. I want to try this. I want to go across this road this winter and fish up there this winter, Joe.
You know, agreed on all of that. It's cool because, you know, the Northwest Angle is kind of where the Canadian Shield begins. That's really where the islands of the lake begin. There's 14,552 islands in Lake of the Woods. The angle is the northernmost point of the contiguous United States. And I'll tell you something, it's just a different feel when you get up there. Fishing's really good. They have actually, you know, a higher percentage of walleyes up there because of the structure, but then you're going to get your jumbo perch, your pike, your tullibees, your eel pout. Once in a while, they'll catch a muskie or a sturgeon, you know, because you're up there in the islands and stuff. But, you know, really just a special place up there. You know, these resorts, these are small, hardworking small business people they're basically caught between two nations in this pandemic we're having. And what better way to enjoy the winter and support some hard work and small businesses than to go ice fishing up at the angle this year. If you haven't been up there, man, I encourage you to give it a shot. It is really that much of an experience. You know, if you want to bring your own meals and cook your own meals in a cabin up there, you can do that. If you want to be at one of the resorts and be on a meal plan or order off their menu, man, there's some incredible food up there. Just really a lot of neat options. It's until you've experienced the Northwest Angle, it's very hard to explain it.
So I've had a few people ask me now about logistics on this, like how's it going to work? Can you bring a trailer? Can you drive a fish house up there? Who's making the road? What can you tell us about the logistics and what you'll be able to do there?
So what you do is you get on the road at Springstill Resort, and they already have an ice road that they use every winter that goes out basically to Whiskey Flats, kind of the corner of Manitoba there. So you're going to jump on their road, and their road goes out existing, and then from there, the Northwest Angle Ice Road connects to that and goes straight north. There's only one road you can take, and it goes straight north with Manitoba on the west side of it. It's going to go straight north in U.S. waters, skirting Manitoba, and then it's going to go up to a forest, and there's a cut road right through that forest. So you're going to be able to drive through some of the most beautiful forest in the Northwest Angle there is, and then that road is going to come out to one of the main roads, dirt roads up at the Northwest Angle, and then you're there. So then you can just go to either one of the mainland resorts if that's where you're staying, or you can jump on the normal ice road that goes out to Flag Island and Oak Island where the other resorts are at. So really a neat option to get up there. And you know, it's most people, you know, like anything in life, there's something behind the scenes with an ice road that people would never imagine, as far as staking the road early, plowing it. There's always blowing snow on a lake. Big trucks with snow plows, ice bridges, chainsaws, chopping down ice upheavals, rerouting around cracks, driving the road early in the morning before anybody else drives it to make sure that no cracks popped open, and of course broken equipment, the labor, gasoline. I mean, you get the point. It cost $1,500 or more, the estimate, per mile for an ice road. So the way the ice road would be taken care of cost-wise is the fees to get up there. So basically, in a nutshell, if you're going to go up to a land resort up at the Northwest Angle, it'll be $120 round trip per carload for vehicle. And then if you're going to go up to one of the angle resorts, $25 more, 145. Then you know what? If you divide that between 2 or 4 people in a vehicle, a 3-day trip, it's not. You know, so, that's how it's going to be compensated. And I'll tell you what, Brett, you know as well as I do, when you get up to that Northwest Angle and you get one of those fish houses, you're going to have activity in that fish house. Just a matter of how big and how many.
Right. And is there any restrictions on what you can bring up there?
Yeah, good question. There is a restriction. So there are going to be some different height limits, and there are even some bridges and things they have in place where there is a height limit. So you can bring like a snowmobile trailer or a trailer to bring equipment if you want to, but you can't bring a wheelhouse. The wheelhouses won't make it through the bridges with the overhead. The road isn't designed for wheelhouses. The road isn't designed for fishing off of. The road is a transport or a transit road that'll allow access up to the Northwest Angle resorts. These resorts have not had revenue coming in for the whole open water season, and their backs are against the wall. So what this is a solution for, number one, the resorts to be able to reach their customers. This is also an option for people that either have the tradition of ice fishing up at the Northwest Angle, or they've never ice fished up there. Quite frankly, when you have when you go to the Northwest Angle normally, and you have to travel through Canada, if you have anybody in your group that has a DUI, they're probably not going to get through.
Right.
This is one option for somebody with a DUI, quite frankly, to stay in Minnesota waters and go experience the Northwest Angle if it's been a little bit more difficult for them in the past. So it really opens up some options. Some people might balk at the price, but when you figure it out, if you got 4 people in a car and you're paying, let's say it's $145, but what is that? Less than $40 a piece. For that to go up to the Northwest Angle and support a hardworking small business whose back's against the wall. I mean, come on, you spend that some people might spend that on a meal or a few drinks at night,
Well, I know a lot of people were asking about bringing trailers up and what they could do. So you can bring a snowmobile trailer, but not a wheelhouse because of the bridges and the way the road is built. So that will answer a few questions. And man, I think it's just a great idea, and I'm sure there's a lot of people involved to make this happen. And I'm sure the Northwest Angle Resorts and community is appreciative of these efforts. And I know we got to help each other out in a time like this, one way or another, where we may all compete with each other in one way or the other, or some resorts compete with others, but they also help each other out a lot. So when you can do something like this to help some other guys out, and it might cost you a few bucks to take that road up there, but it's great fishing up there. It's beautiful country, and if you can bring a snowmobile trailer, obviously there's some snowmobile trails up there that you can ride around on too. So I think it's a great option for anglers this winter, and I have a feeling it's going to be a successful one.
Yeah, and the cool thing is too, by the way, I mean, you still take the snowmobile trails there. You and I have snowmobile Northwest Angle from the South Shore. There's snowmobile trails that are staked, groomed, very well marked, that go up to the Northwest Angle. It's about a 42-mile ride, from the South Shore. But what a fun experience. You throw your fish house in the back, you put your gear in the fish house, and you snowmobile up. You can fish along the way, or you can go up there and fish and stay at one of the resorts. But that obviously has always been an option for getting up there. What our Northwest Angle Guest Ice Road does is it really it opens up the opportunity to drive your vehicle up there. And not everybody snowmobiles, not everybody has a sled, and not everybody would be equipped to snowmobile, in the harshness of Lake of the Woods, 42 miles. Remember when you and I did it, I think it was a very mild 25 below zero air temp.
Yeah, and you can also now, once you do that, you can tell people you snowmobiled to the Northwest Angle from the south end of Lake of the Woods, which is kind of cool to be able to do that in itself. But yeah, she was a bit brisk out there, but you bundle up, you wear the right gear, it's not a problem, and you can whip through.
What I remember about that trip too, what was so cool is the videographer you used for Prairie Sportsman, Dylan. It was his first trip.
Yeah.
So here we throw him on a snowmobile and we have him going 42 miles an hour, 42 miles across Lake of the Woods in 25 below air temp. So what we would do is we would snowmobile for a little ways, and then we'd stop and make sure everybody's okay. You're not frozen, are you? Okay, let's go. And
threw him right into the fire day one. Yeah, absolutely.
What a way to kind of check a guy, see what he's all about. Boy, I think he passed with flying colors.
Well, you can watch that show of our trip snowmobiling up the Northwest Angle at prairiesportsman.org. And Joe, if people want to head up there this year, they want to make plans, or they want to learn a little bit more about this ice road, where should they go for the info?
We have a Facebook page for the Northwest Angle Guest Ice Road, so you can search Northwest Angle Guest Ice Road in Facebook and find the Facebook page at NWA Ice Road, or just to search Northwest Angle Guest Ice Road 2020. And then as far as fishing Lake of the Woods, with the resorts up at the Northwest Angle and such, hey, everything's on our website, and that is lakeofthewoodsmn.com.
This has been the Finding Fins Fishing Podcast, part of the Sporting Journal Radio family. Subscribe wherever you get podcasts, or go to findingfins.com and make sure to like our sponsors.
If you want to have success fishing in Minnesota, you have to go where the fish are. And there may be no lake with more fish in it than Lake of the Woods. Not just big numbers of walleye, sauger, perch, eel pout, pike, muskie, bass, and sturgeon, but numbers of big fish too. Between the Rainy River, the main lake, and the Northwest Angle, you have over 50 resorts to choose from. Guided fishing allows for heated transportation to heated fish houses. Learn how to book a trip now at lakeofthewoodsmn.com. That's lakeofthewoodsmn.com.